Sports Show. Clearly the biggest game on the planet, of course, the world game of soccer. Got a couple of the MetroStars in to join us. The coach, Robbie Saraceno, and my favourite mate, Fabian Barbiero. I just like saying it. I just like the name, mate. I know you're a good player, but I love saying Barbiero. I don't know why. It's just good for me, mate. Hey, you guys, big win on the weekend. 3-1. Down early, though. They scored the first goal. What were you thinking? Coach's box, what was going through your mind?
You start to get that resignation letter out. Look, I thought we were playing quite well at the time. We conceded a pretty soft goal early, but to the credit of the players, they just kept on, I suppose, going through the team sort of way we've been playing, and got really good 3 goals in the second half that I thought we were comfortable most of the game.
I was just going to say that 3 goals in the second half because they scored after 6 or 7 minutes, pretty early in the game.
Yep.
And they're not a bad side, obviously.
Yeah.
There's no need to panic, obviously, because it's a very early goal if you're going to concede one. But 3 in the second half. Is there a pattern here? Have you done this before?
Yeah, we've actually done that quite a few times this year. But like I said, it was 3 in the second half. We did have a couple of chances early on as well in that first half that we could have scored as well. So, I mean, we walked into the change rooms at half time pretty confident that we can turn that 1-0 deficit around. Yeah. And to the credit to the boys, they did.
Most of the teams have been hit at some stage by COVID, and we're just discussing it before we came on here. But just for the viewers, mate, you had a period where you lost 9 players. Yeah,
we played against Cumberland. It was a long weekend. I think it was maybe Easter long weekend. I'm not too sure. But we played against Cumberland and won 1-0. And then that was on the Saturday. Then on the Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, I got a message from the first player that he tested positive. And then by Tuesday, we had 9 down. And then one player that were living with the other, he was a close contact. So we actually had 10 out for a whole 7 days. So it went through the squad. In some capacity, we were pretty lucky that it all came at once instead of losing 2 or 3 at a time.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, it hit us for a bit of a 6, to be honest, because we had 3 games coming up in a week, which we didn't do too well after that. But now we're starting to recover from that.
Did you get it, Fabian? Did you get it?
Yeah.
How have you found coming back? Because there's been a real mixed bag with players. Some come back and no effect. Some are struggling for a while, and then some just haven't still got through
it. Yeah, me personally, I copped it quite hard first couple of days. And then from there, I just recovered quite well. Back at training after the 7 days, and I actually felt pretty good. No problems breathing or anything like that. So I was maybe a lucky one, but I know a couple of the boys in the team experienced a bit of
the burning.
Yeah, burning and just like short of breath. Yeah. But now they've come good. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And has it been a bit of a fear for, I guess, players? Like, you probably knew you were going to get it at some point. Like, was the timing okay when you did eventually get it, do you think?
Yeah, well, you're always in the back of the mind, and the club puts on big protocols, I guess, when we're getting changed in the trainer's room wearing masks. But unfortunately, it's one of those things that you just can't sort of escape, and it hit us there. Probably early on in the season, probably a good thing as well. Now that we've sort of recovered, and now we just tick on in the season now, and hopefully, knock on wood, no one else gets it.
Hey, Robbie, how frustrating for you, mate? Because you have the pre-season where you're building and you feel like you've got some momentum and the team's playing really well, guys are starting to understand their roles. Then you get hit by COVID. Do you feel like you're back at square one and starting again? Or?
Yeah, you do. I mean, we had a really solid pre-season, probably one of our best pre-seasons in the last few years. And like Fabe said, some players recover differently, and we did have 3 or 4 that we couldn't really do much with for the first week or so after the COVID. So it does set you back, but we've got a fit group. They've looked after themselves quite well post-COVID, so we're lucky that we're starting to get back to where we were before that hit us.
It's a very tight competition that you're in at the minute. About the first 5 or 6 teams can all, within a couple of points of each other, so you don't want any more COVIDs, don't want any more slip-ups or any players out at this stage. How long is your year, game-wise?
So we'll go 22 games and plus finals at the end of it. But in between that, there's the Federation Cup that also qualifies for the FFA Cup.
It's a top 4, top 6? Top 6, okay. Well, if you look at the top 6 right now, it's pretty tight, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no room to move. You cannot afford to have a couple of days or a couple of games where you don't win.
No, it's a really good league, and credit to the players that are playing in it. They treat it as serious as they possibly can, albeit semi-professional. We're one league down from the A-League, I suppose, and there's been a lot of players that have filtered from our league that are playing for Adelaide United right now.
It's getting better, isn't it?
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
league is getting better every year.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that just because you guys are sitting here, but I know that the league is becoming stronger every year. No doubts about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, Adelaide United's full of players now locally that were playing,
There you go.
in our league in the last 12, 24 months.
And it helps if they are playing well because it gives the game a nice little nudge, and they are playing well at the minute. United, they're
Played well on the weekend.
They're into a semi, I think, on this Wednesday.
Yep.
So it's just great for the game.
Absolutely.
And how do you feel from a player's perspective, Fabian, like coming off a win like that over the weekend and heading into your game tomorrow? What is the player group feeling with that confidence? How are you bringing that into this week's game?
Yeah, well, we had a bit of a slip up during the week in the cup round. Probably a game that we should have won, but we addressed that. Went back training, worked hard, got a result on the weekend, and now we just look for the season ahead. Which obviously we're pretty good at making finals, but we just want to carry that momentum and just be consistent, I guess, week in, week out, because like you said, it's quite tight, the league. You win a couple in a row and you can really get up and put that pressure up the top. So that's the aim for the club, and coach has really put that in our head that we've just got to make sure we get the 3 points every week.
It doesn't matter what team sport you play in, I guess, or individually. Sometimes there's a player or a team that gives your team trouble, just the style of game that they play, for no rhyme or reason. I can remember Gold Coast for years. Richmond couldn't beat Gold Coast in the AFL. One's top, one's... And it just happens. The Panthers this weekend for you, are they a style that you guys play well against, or are they going to be that awkward team to play against?
Well, I think Panthers traditionally have been a really tough team to play against down south, purely because of the conditions and the pitch, but since then, they've actually now put an artificial pitch, which has actually helped a lot of teams play football. They're really well coached now with quarterback there. They play a really good brand of football, so we're expecting a pretty tough game this week.
And they'll be desperate because they're one of those teams that are just sitting not too far out, but out far enough. They'd be desperate for a win.
Yep, absolutely.
As will you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
No doubt.
The 3 points are pretty vital this part of the season.
Yeah, it's a funny thing, everybody likes winning. I don't know why that is that way, but the losers tend not to be all that kept for very long. Hey, listen, boys, we really appreciate your time coming. It has been a good year. Sorry that the COVID got you mid-year. We'll look forward to getting you back just in time for the finals to tell us how you're going to go about winning it. MetroStars, the team you want to jump on, they are a ripping team to follow. Stay with us. Still, a little bit more to come on the show.